It's Tuesday, folks, and welcome to another episode of Hornets Daily, presented by Fan Arc, your one stop shop for all things Charlotte Hornets. As you know, I'm your host, Vance Ballard, but the good people out there, they call me VB. I want to thank everybody, as always, for joining, watching along with us today. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave a like and a comment down in the comments section as we continue to build out the family here on Hornets Daily. Not a crazy packed show today. It is a Tuesday in July. Things starting to slow down a little bit now this summer as Summer League has come to an end and we move officially into the offseason. But still a few things buzzing around the Queen City, and we're going to have them all for you right here on Hornets Daily. Liam McNeely signed a Nike deal announced on Monday. We'll talk about that and what that means for the rookie. Brandon Miller, his name coming up on the show for the first time in a while. He put on his first skills, or is preparing to put on his first skills and development camp in the Charlotte area. We'll tell you a little bit about that. What impact can Ryan Kalkbrenner actually have on this rotation, on this roster in his first year in the NBA? Now that we've seen what he's capable of out in Summer League, we'll talk a little bit more about what his role may develop into to carve out his spot in the rotation as a rookie. And some news we kind of assumed has now become official. A piece of information about Josh Green we'll talk about. I'm sure you can get there. You can figure that out yourself. We've mentioned his name a couple times, and where he stands, it's now become quote unquote official as the Hornets make an official decision about their plan with Josh Green. We'll talk about that as well. If you know one thing about me, folks, you know we don't do beating around the bush here on Hornets Daily, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. As we mentioned, Liam McNeely has announced a signing with Nike, a sponsorship athlete deal. Don't know that he's getting a signature shoe right away. Probably still has a little bit of work to do on the floor in that regard, but Liam McNeely is one of Nike's newest athletes. He multi-year deal for the rookie, so a good sign for him as he'll be able to continue and increase his role with Nike as he develops and gets better and more popular in the NBA. He joins Khan Knipple, who also signed a deal. Now, Khan didn't sign with Nike, his was with Jordan Brand, but both of the first round picks for the Hornets this year have signed their deals with Nike and with Jordan Brand. Nice to see the rookies in Charlotte getting some love, getting some flowers, and getting what they deserve. Honestly, a sponsorship deal. McNeely was a star out in Las Vegas. He was voted one of the best three rookies at the Summer League, despite not playing in the championship game and the semifinal game and the last regular season game. As a matter of fact, McNeely missed 3 games due to a right Achilles issue that the Hornets are trying to let him rest off of and not make more serious or get worse going into the regular season. But despite all of that, McNeely did average 18 points per game while he was out in Vegas playing, and he looked fantastic on both ends of the floor. He answered a bunch of questions defensively about his ability and was he going to be able to play defense at the next level. That question was answered relatively quickly as McNeely looked very good on that end of the floor as well. So again, just with 2 games played, nice to see him getting some love and some flowers, signing himself a Nike deal, earning himself the vote for one of the best 3 rookies in the Summer League. Liam McNeely looking to really have an impact on this Hornets roster as he too tries to carve out a spot in the rotation. Where's it going to be? Who's he going to play behind? That kind of thing. McNeely now a Nike athlete looking to answer those questions as well. Speaking of playing behind and who he is going to be teammates with come the regular season, Brandon Miller, his name coming up on the show today. Again, not super common for this time of year. We haven't talked about Miller in a little while, but we're bringing him up today because he is set to host his first skills and development camp in the city of Charlotte. I told you folks, it's a Tuesday in July. We're bringing you what we've got. Brandon Miller, he usually hosts this camp in Nashville where he went to high school. It'll be held for 9 to 14-year-olds coming up this week, actually, July 25th and 26th, as Miller prepares for his first run at a development camp in his new hometown of Charlotte. It's nice to see Brandon Miller expand his camp out into the Charlotte area, as that again is becoming his new home, a town that is really taking to Brandon Miller. He's trying to give back now to the community, something very important to see from your star player. It's nice to see him bring this something like this into the city, attach his name to it, and that way get some kids out in the community and show them a little bit of development and skills as well. Give them an opportunity to interact with an NBA player and just be uh, give them a special opportunity outside of getting better at basketball as well. But they do get some great coaching from Brandon Miller and all of his help, which I'm sure will consist of some Hornets teammates as well. Again, this just adds to Brandon Miller's impact that he continues to make off the floor. We know exactly what he can do on the floor, but as he tries to, I guess, continue to build up who he is as a person, there is always a little bit of skepticism when talking about Brandon Miller. He does have some things in his past. We know he's moved on from them. There is nothing wrong with Brandon Miller as a person, but this kind of move always helps build your character, build your reputation within the community. So it's nice to see the Hornets star bringing something like this into the community to have a positive impact and better his surroundings in his new hometown. Very nice to see that from Brandon Miller. Gives us a little deeper insight on into who he is as a person and what he means, what the city means to him, and what he may mean to the city. We'll see that more with the outcome and the turnout of camp. But we know now that Charlotte is somewhere Brandon Miller is trying to make home and expand and put his bring more of his roots into the city. Speaking of learning about who they really are, we've seen out in Vegas now Ryan Kalkbrenner, his game action, and we've gotten a little better understanding about who he can be on the floor for the Charlotte Hornets. We saw on Sunday night in the Summer League Championship for the first time, really, he finally dominated a basketball game, took over, made the paint his own, and it was very impressive when he was on the floor able to do that. He had, again, 15 points and 9 rebounds in that championship game, 5 of 6 from the field. Even stepped out and hit a 3 from beyond the arc. Nice to see Kalkbrenner not adding that to his element to his game. We knew it was there, but nice to see him capitalize on an open look when he got one. As we know, he's been told by the coaching staff, quote, if you're open, let it fly, end quote. That came directly from Kalkbrenner in a post practice interview. So we know he has the green light, and it's nice to see him take it and make it on Sunday night. Now, one of the things that Kalkbrenner did best in the Summer League was use his big body as a wall, either the pick and roll or screening for a driver to get around him and clear out some space for him to go to the lane and get an open layup. We saw Con Knipple do that several times off of a Kalkbrenner screen while out in Las Vegas. His shooting ability, as we were just talking about, requires the bigs to stay out with him. They cannot crash back in the paint on the pick and roll just expecting for the drive, because that will then easily become a pick and pop for Kalkbrenner. We know he can shoot it. So the big has to stay with him. If they come out too far, the screen from Kalkbrenner then allows for the driver to move around and get an open lane. So it's really been a win-win when using Kalkbrenner and coming off the screen. There's multiple options. He can stay out top. He can crash to the basket. If his man stays too far out, then it's a lob from KJ Simpson, a lob from Con Knipple. We saw both of those things out in Vegas, and now it'll be a lob from the Melo Ball come regular season. So it's just extremely impactful what Kalkbrenner is able to do from just really one spot, and that's setting a screen at the top. We haven't even gotten to his ability to get inside in the paint and work offensively down there. Now, we knew about Kalkbrenner's defense when he was drafted. It's why he was drafted. He was able to get a little more comfortable on that side of the floor during as the summer league progressed and up until that championship game again when he really kind of took over every on both sides of the floor in the paint. So it'll be interesting to watch him continue to develop on that side of the ball, but now he knows kind of the role he can carve out on offense as well, as he can clear a lot of space, be a big body, and really a wall, I mean, a hammer of a screen running into a brick wall when Kalkbrenner's out there. We saw that happen a couple times as well. He's unfazed because, again, 7'6" is just a mountain of a human being to run into when you're not paying attention. So that's the role that I think Kalkbrenner is going to be able to play for himself coming into this regular season, carving out his spot in the rotation, maybe even making himself a starter if he can continue to develop offensively and expand more, get more in his bag, and that's on that side of the floor in regards to the offensive game. If he can continue to develop that jump shot and make it and become a legit threat from out there, it makes Kalkbrenner a very dangerous weapon. As we said, if the big has to go out, then he cuts by. There's a lob, there's a drive. It just gives a lot of options, and then to add to it, a genuine threat from the outside with the pick and pop would only make Kalkbrenner that much more dangerous and make his role that much greater on the team. Now, until then, he's going to continue to develop, and Kalkbrenner is absolutely going to find a spot in the rotation doing the quote unquote little things. I know he's a big body, but the little things he can do, clear the space, set the screens, move to the rim, and crash the glass. We know he's very good and only getting better in terms of rebounding as well. It's going to continue to be interesting to watch this summer what Coach Charles Lee now has in mind for Kalkbrenner as he continues to work with the NBA roster as the summer league is over and it's now just practice leading up to the preseason and the regular season. Speaking of impacts and regular season, we spoke earlier about some news about Josh Green. Again, something we've already talked about here on Hornets Daily. You're probably familiar with. You can assume just by hearing the name, you know what is coming down the pipeline. The Hornets officially announced now, according to Evan Sidri, who reported on Twitter or X, whichever you prefer. Something we already knew, but the Hornets are officially putting Josh Green on the trading block. The team announced that they are open to moving the guard, which they acquired from the Mavericks last season. In 68 games with the Hornets last year, Josh Green averaged 7.4 points a game, 2.5 rebounds a game, 1.6 assists per game, 1.1 steal per game, shooting 42.8% from the field and 39% from beyond the arc. So decent numbers from a bench player like Josh Green should be a pretty easy piece to move on from. Someone should come calling. The question is he going to be a solo trade or is it going to be a package deal? Now, as we all know, the roster still a little heavy from top to bottom, so more than likely going to be a package deal, try to get a salary dump or two off on the other side as well. But Green, again, could be a legitimate piece to another team that wants him, so he could be a nice addition to a trade package as well. Maybe in return, getting a big man for Green and whoever is packaged with him, or just straight up for Josh Green. That's still up in the air, left to be decided. But his shooting ability, of Josh, that shooting ability I was mentioning, 42.8% from the field, 39 from behind the arc. That is what is going to help add some value to Josh Green when it comes to trying to move on from him. His potential and his ceiling obviously still going up. The 2020 draft pick, still young in the game as he's now moved into a little more veteran status in the league, coming up on year 5 here. Yeah, trying to do my math there. Sorry. For Josh Green, it'll be interesting to see what the Hornets are able to get from him as the logjam of guards, the I don't want to say over acquisition, but the acquisition of multiple guards this summer have just kind of created, again, that log jam, which kind of forced Josh Green out, much like a Kogi, much like it still could potentially do to a couple other names on the list. I know Steph Curry, an unrestricted free agent, but now the logjam there, the stack up of people who play his position more than likely not going to require a deal to be done with him. So he'll move on from the Hornets as well. Again, based on the stacking up of guards, the abundance of talent now in that room. Josh Green, Josh Green, just one of the guys that Charlotte is going to have to move on from. This move is going to be smart for the Hornets though, as it's going to clear up $13.7 million in salary space, as that is what Green is due to make this year. Next year, it would become 14.7 on an expiring contract into the 2026 season. So could be a good financial move for Jeff Peterson and the Hornets as they look to get a little bit of money off their books, but still bring somebody in useful on the other side. As we've mentioned, the biggest question is going to be, is Green moved by himself or in a package deal? What kind of package deal? And do the Hornets go out and try and get a big man out of said package deal? You already know what I want to do. Yes, yes, yes. I've been hammering on the table all summer long for the Hornets to finally make that one final addition. I think that big man could put them over the top. Now, I'm not going to say they're that makes them the Thunder. It makes them the Cavaliers, it makes them the Pacers, anything like that, but it does put them as it would make them a legitimate playoff contender. You guys have answered that question for me already. I've answered it for you. I think they're sitting in a good spot right now with the depleted East the way it is, but another move for a big man would really round the roster all together and make this team dangerous going into the regular season. So that is going to do it for today's show, ladies and gentlemen. As I told you, not a super busy Tuesday here in July, but a few things buzzing around, and we've got them all for you on Hornets Daily. Remember, Mr. Lucky requested a depth chart preview or breakdown, whatever you want to call it. We'll get started on that on tomorrow's show, so be sure to join us right back here on Hornets Daily for all that. Thanks again, everybody, for watching along with us today. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like and a comment, and we'll catch you right back here tomorrow on